Healing the heart. Healing the heart requires that we inhabit our bodies. I'd like to make a few distinctions about moods, emotions, and feelings. Moods are contextual. They are sustained over long periods of time, like depression or anxiety. Emotions are either internally or externally triggered with the intention of moving us towards or away from something. They are often fleeting, or if they last for sustained time, they become a mood. Emotions are the lifeblood of our psyche. Feelings are interpreted emotions. By themselves, emotions are bodily conditions. Feelings, on the other hand, have words and thoughts tightly associated with them. Jung called a complex a network of associations surrounding a feeling tone. These complex patterns are the very essence of our constructed ego. When we are in a complex, and we are always in a complex, we are perceiving the world through that particular network of associations. For example, let's say your boss just criticized you, which triggers the emotion of shame and recalls a barrage of internal negative thoughts about yourself. If you are not aware of this, the emotion and thoughts associated, you could be taken down into a negative or low mood all day long. If you are aware, you simply notice the emotions flow through your body and the thoughts it conjures up, and you do not attach to this view of yourself. The repressed emotions that are sure to come up during meditation is the topic of this section. To open the heart is to stop the repression of the very essence of your being. On page 46, Cornfield writes, "As we take the one seat and develop a meditative attention, the heart presents itself naturally for healing. The grief we have carried for so long, from pains and dashed expectations and hopes, arise. We grieve for our past traumas and present fears, for all of the feelings we never dared experience consciously. Whatever shame or unworthiness we have within us arises. Much of our early childhood and family pain, the mother and father wounds we hold, the isolation, any past abuse, physical or sexual, are all stored in the heart." Jack Engler, a Buddhist teacher and psychologist at Harvard University, has described meditation practice as primarily a practice of grieving and letting go. Our task in meditation is first to let them move through us, then to recognize them and allow them to sing their songs. Healing the mind. As we notice our thoughts in meditation, we discover that they are not in our control. We swim in an uninvited, constant stream of memories, plans, expectations, judgments, and regrets. The mind begins to show how it contains all the possibilities, often in conflict with one another. The beautiful qualities of a saint and the dark forces of a dictator and murderer. Out of these, the mind plans and imagines, creating endless struggles and scenarios for changing the world. Yet the very root of these movements of mind is dissatisfaction. We are driven by it in many unconscious and examined ways. It is this dualistic nature of thought that is the root of our suffering. Whenever we think of ourselves as separate, fear and attachment arise, and we grow constricted, defensive, ambitious, and territorial. To protect the separate self, we push certain things away, while to bolster it, we hold on to other things and identify with them. Healing the mind takes place in two ways. First, we bring attention to the content of our thoughts and learn to redirect them more skillfully through practices of wise reflection. Secondly, the heart allows for the stories and ideas, the fantasies and fears of the mind without believing in them, without having to follow them or having to fulfill them. When we touch beneath all the busyness of thoughts, we discover a sweet, healing silence, an inherent peacefulness in each of us, a goodness of heart, strength, and wholeness that is our birthright. This is the Buddha nature. Healing through emptiness. The Buddha described human life as compromising a series of ever-changing processes, a physical process, a feeling process, a memory and recognition process, a thought and reaction process, and a consciousness process. These processes are dynamic and continuous, without a single element we can call our unchanging self. We are ourselves, a process woven together with life, without separateness. We arise like a wave out of the ocean of life, our tentative forms still one with the ocean. Some traditions call this ocean the Tao, the divine, the fertile void, the unborn. This is what is considered the emptiness, the life-giving emptiness. We bring our awareness to the body and find that its boundaries are porous. In this practice, our sense of the solidity of a separate body or a separate mind starts to dissolve, and suddenly, unexpectedly, we find out how much at ease we are. Our meditation deepens still further. We experience expansiveness, delight, and the freedom of our interconnectedness with all things, with the great mystery of our life. A meditative visit to the healing temple. Sit comfortably, let your eyes close. Bring your attention to your breath. Feel your breath and your body as you sit, without trying to change them. Notice what's comfortable and what's uncomfortable. Notice if you're sleepy or wide awake. Notice if there's a lot of clutter in the mind or if it is quiet. Just be aware of what is. Notice the state of your heart. Does it feel contracted? Does it feel soft and open? Or is it somewhere in the middle? Is it tired? Is it joyful? Notice and receive what is present. Then imagine you are magically transported to a beautiful healing temple or power spot, a place of great wisdom and love. Take as much time as you need to sense it, feel it, picture it in any way that feels good to you. Sense yourself sitting there, restfully and attentively, meditating in this place. As you sit at this temple, this place of great wisdom, begin to reflect on your own spiritual journey more deeply. Gradually let yourself be aware of the wounds you carry that will require healing in the course of your journey. Breathe softly and gently, feel whatever arises. Let yourself become aware of all your feelings with a very loving and receptive heart. Let them be anything they need to be. Then very gently and softly, as if you were the goddess of compassion herself, touch it with pure sweetness. What is the core of this place that has been wrapped up and held inside you for so long? As you look at it, let yourself see how much you've closed off to it, how much you've suppressed or rejected it, wished that it would go away, wished that you didn't have to feel it, and treated it with fear and aversion. Let yourself sit peacefully, opening your heart to this pain at last. Rest in this temple, allowing your healing and compassionate attention to suffuse every part of it. Stay as long as you wish, Whenever you are ready to leave, imagine yourself bowing with gratitude. As you leave, remember this temple is inside of you. You can always go there.